Welcome back to week 4 of SoloMission reviews the Gielinor games, the behind the scenes, the unseen bits, the juice, and whatever I really want to talk about. Another great week, so make sure you check out the recent video from Soup. This review will include spoilers. I would very much recommend watching the Gielinor games if you're new around these parts. And speaking of spoilers, we got this account. Like 5 people are probably happy to see this, but enough on that for now. Today we will have our first special guest on the show, so stay tuned for that as well. Lots of interesting things coming up. Let's start off here with a few fun little DMs. I actually forgot to include these in preceding weeks, so for context, I'm always accusing Will of being in an alliance, and look who comes calling to me. I think this is last week. Yo, do you want an alliance? And I'm like, no way! The guy that's always saying he's unallied asks me for an alliance, and he's like, Harsh. And I just repeat the line that I'm genuinely not allied with anybody. I've made a habit out of attacking Will, saying, you've obviously got allies, etc., etc. And he's like, no, I'm not. You see it in all the episodes so far. So I thought it was funny that he just reached out to me. And then he's like, I'm not kidding when I say this. I'm not allied with anyone. Tasty's the only person to ask me. And then he shows me his Discord DMs, which has nobody from Gielinor Games. And then I respond saying, mine will look bad because I looked out to people. And at this point, I genuinely considered editing this screenshot that I sent him back. But I thought, you know what? We're just going to play trustworthy with Will. I send him back this. And he's literally got everybody on there. And I'm like, most of these are one line. And he's saying, laugh my ass off. That's everyone. Yep. So I thought you might appreciate that little reaction. And down to business. I actually start off my evening by sliding into somebody's DM saying, evening fella. And that fella is Mr. EVscape. This is before the week even starts. So before we start recording or get together or anything, we're going for Frame today probably. Haven't discussed yet. I'm like, probably for the best. He is my main point of contact on one side of the huge alliance and Framed on the other side. And I'm like, yeah, we'll go for Framed. No worries. Little does he know that I'm also contacting Framed. And that brings me on to the good old faithful alliance board. Remember, this is how I saw the games at the time, not how they were necessarily actually being played out. But it's really not that far away because we got some indications today from Soup in the episode as he got his own graphic up on the screen. So, we have the NA Alliance. They've just lost Sea Engineer, but they're 4 strong still. We've got all these people in the middle. Boaty assumed apolitical. We've got Foe, who I don't think is allied with anybody. And then these guys, don't think they're allied with anyone. Still slightly sus of Will, but as we saw from the DMs, he's defending himself quite well. Got me. I'm playing off of both of these sides. Got strong ties to Framed and EVscape. Sort of playing 2 sides off against each other. And then we have this big alliance over here. All these people seem to be on the same side of the game from my point of view. And this is really interesting because Soup gets this graphic and yo, does this not look very similar to how I thought it was going? I'm pretty proud of myself. We've got these 4 over here. That is the same here, 4 over here. And then all of these people appear on this side. However, I was wrong about one, which is Foe. And I thought the Foe had no allies in the middle. I'm still not sure whether he did actually have allies at the start of episode 4. So, yeah. And we've got all these people in the middle. Skill Specs Victim, Boaty, Will. I'm in the middle. EVscape's on this side. But for some reason, I'm called a honcho. But I'm not really directing anyone. I'm just kind of a go-between. So, I feel like that's not necessarily right. But, you know, I'll take the title of a honcho. And we've got all these people in the middle. So, pretty on the money. We've got Foe over here. But I had no reason to believe that yet. Remember, he's just gone into the banning with nobody defending him in the winner's call last week. So I'm pretty sure Foe is unallied. These are my DMs last week with Foe after he did get put into the banning. And I was saying the reason he went in because he's not allied up. So maybe he's found himself some allies. And that brings me on to the main episode this week. And it starts off in this weird way in the Falador party room where people have to pair up. And preceding this occurring, I actually messaged Foe saying, we can have a truce between the 2 of us if you want, because I figure he's got nobody. And he says, I'm down with the truce, no harm there. Okay, nice one. Can always use the excuse that don't vote for me because I've got no allies, no power. Works both ways for both of us. We're both guys with no allies. We're just playing the game. We're just here to play RuneScape, by the way. That's what I was going for with that one. And then it gets announced that Foe is actually safe. And he can choose somebody else who is going to be safe this week. And I'm not even kidding. This bit of the conversation is 5 minutes before he gets to choose. And then I'm just like, as soon as I found out, I'm like, yo, this would make me owe you forever. And he's like, would seem a bit suspicious. And I'm like, well, fuck you then. What is this partnership we've got again? It's built on nothing. It's just funny that 5 minutes before I was like, yo, you fancy like having a truce? And then he gets to choose. And he chooses Boaty, which I think was a very smart decision, because Boaty's obviously, that's not going to ruffle any feathers. Boaty's also incredible at the game. They have a good chance of winning that week. And yeah, can't hate that at all. That was a great choice. So we end up having the balloon drop party, and I actually get nothing on round 1. So I go into round 2 with 3 other people's skill specs and will. And if I got put on my own, I came second bottom in this balloon popping contest to decide the teams. That could have been bad. If I was bottom, I would have been on my own, and I probably would not have won. It would have been very difficult, at least. And would you look at that? I end up getting put on the same team with Mr. Eviescape, and I'm in the corner like, oh, whoa, like, because we've kind of scrapped before this publicly, but behind the scenes, we're starting to build a bridge and work together to try and figure some things out. Now, this is all the alliances as far as I can tell. And the intern here at SoloMission HQ, which is also me, has made this. Wow, look, all the colours for all the teams from this week. Hopefully we can understand what's going on a bit easier now they're colour coordinated. And seems a little cheeky boy. He's put people together which they're already kind of working together. They're friends, they make good content, etc. So we've got Settled Jimmy, 8sat Framed, Boaty and Foe, me and Eviescape. We were working together though, kind of. And Will, Victim, skill specs on his own. We've got Torvesta, Vitoso, we've got Hannah, Sin, Tasty, Zoe. Like, these teams aren't my chance. There's no way. I would imagine at this point, Eviescape sees me as over here, like a slight branch away from his big alliance, just here, like contacting them, working on their side in everything we do. And that is very clear when I jump into a call with him at the start of the challenge. I'm going to play a few clips for you guys, just so you can get the sort of feeling. Because Evie just doesn't think I'm over here at all, but really I'm in the middle playing both teams. And I'm not going to let him know that, obviously. So being paired with Eviescape this week was a real potential hurdle, because I do have those links to Framed. In fact, I even messaged him saying, good luck for the challenge. This is just before the challenge. You too. I'm with Evie, though. Awkward if I win. And he's like, lol, yeah. I think he understands that if we win, am I going to be sending Framed into the banning? That's going to be difficult, because Eviescape is obviously gunning for this side. So we'll see how it turns out. We know how it turns out. So I obviously have to be presenting that I'm on Eviescape's side here in the call. Throughout the whole challenge, we have 2 hours to chat to each other, and you can just hear for yourselves what the mood is.
If we win this, we've got control of the whole competition.
Oh my god, if we win, and then you can just get all the fucking boys and girls to vote for like Framed or something like that.
Easy one.
Shit, who would you want to get in if we won? Framed and like Settled or something?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we'll vote Framed in and then put Settled in for sure. Just take out that whole fucking team. And I'll just completely snag the one I've got now. I can't wait. It's going to be great.
So we hear Evie, the plan is to get Framed out and stuff. Now, obviously, this doesn't actually end up happening, which is largely down to me, and we'll get on to that in a bit. But I'm just like setting the scene here, letting you guys know the behind the scenes, how we were feeling at the time. I'll let this play a bit more. I think we have a bit more of a chat about the overall games and things like that. I got a bit more of an insight into what Evie was managing in this episode, because we obviously talked for ages. I feel like you need to watch your back a bit for like Tasty Gang. I don't know how close you are to those guys.
Yeah, no, there's like a few that I'm a bit worried about, but
yeah. Hello?
Shouldn't be too.
And that what I was referring to there with Tasty Gang is I'm not entirely convinced that these two groups are fully connected. And he sort of confirms that, saying he's got a few different things going on. And yeah, let's just keep listening. I'm brushing all these people I'm saying are on the same alliance, but I think they're not necessarily all in one massive chat. Yeah, complicated.
We've got like a couple of groups together at the moment. But
are you guys good to go? By the way, sorry.
Yeah, we're
ready to go. Yeah, no, we got a couple groups together at the moment. I'm just trying to get rid of the American alliance and then go from there. But I'm just being friends with everyone, you know.
Yeah, I'm just saying to everyone, please don't vote for me. I've got no please, no one vote. Oh god. And that is definitely what I've been going for all 4 weeks so far. Like, how can you vote for me? Everybody hates me. But you know, we see that's not necessarily true, is it now? Moving on to the episode, money making. This sort of challenge is my bread and butter. Last season, I came second with Guns Chili, and we lost our RNG. Obviously, there is always the chance that somebody gets a big drop and we just lose, which is why it was very smart of Jimmy and Settle to go and do the blood challenge, because if they got one, they would have instantly won, pretty much. But at the same time, we chose Revs because consistent money, and there is a chance that you get an emblem, because that can be, 1 to 16 mil. Which would help out a lot, but we were just super efficient. We were ahead of all the teams, like at every stage. Whiteberries into Runor, into Revs. We were at Revs so early, I think like 13 minutes in or something like that. And we were just having an absolute blast, honestly. Me and Evie, great vibes.
Holy fuck. I didn't realize I'd gone up.
I just renewed my skill on Torvester. He's gonna be fuming, bro. He's actually gonna be so mad. Wait, oh no, that's you. That's you. I was like, oh, I'm popping some Benny.
You don't need to renew your skull anymore. You got the avarice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. You know what we're doing. Oh, I'm fucking stupid. So we're having a good time. It's all going very well. Evie gets early Dragon Plate legs, but I think even without that, we would win. Even without killing the Maledictus, we would have won. We just had the best strat with the avarices. I don't think anyone else did that. Range is the best DPS, that sort of thing. Just experience playing out. Like, what is going on here? Tasty used a Black Sally on a lava track, bro. Sorry, that just cracked me up when I saw that in the episode. Absolutely unreal. So me and Evie, pretty confident that we'd win if we didn't get RNG'd out of nowhere. So we start discussing who we're thinking about sending into the banning. And remember, I am like buddy with Evie to his face, but I've got other interests behind the scenes. What if someone from your side of the alliance goes in? Who are we going to choose if we win?
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's a good question.
Maybe
Someone
like,
shit.
How good's that 8 stat? I don't know. I don't know much about them.
We've got the numbers. Like, we've got the numbers at the moment.
Definitely.
There's no way someone from the alliance goes in.
Oh, okay. Ooh, it's exciting.
Like, we got fucking, like, yeah. We've got half the competition at the moment, so there's no chance.
Shit.
I've been working my magic, Joel. I'm telling you,
Bro, I mean, you just need to get me for a few weeks, and then I'm happy.
I've got you covered until the American team's gone, and then yeah,
that was fucking free for all, bro. The Maledictus spawns, and we decided to go for it. We were umming and ahhing over it for the entire hour. Like, should we? Shouldn't we? And I was like, yeah, let's just go for it in the last 5 minutes. And then we get the 1 mil emblem, and we'd still. At this point, we still thought we were good, but didn't necessarily know if we'd won. We didn't get a big RNG drop, and when we've joined the banning, the call after this challenge, Boaty and Foe were sounding incredibly happy with themselves. So I thought they might have won, but they obviously did very well. But we came out on top 3.1 mil, smoked everyone. Unfortunately, Skill Specs on his own. If that was so close to being me, and I definitely wouldn't have got 1.9 on my own, right? As for the other teams, we had a lot of revs and all that sort of stuff. Jimmy and Settled got money from someone else, which I think that was close to ending this episode in disaster. Like, what if they got given 3 mil? Would that have stood? I feel like that would have been like a 2-hour argument after, but they did it. They weren't being malicious. They were just like getting content right, and they did it in like a nice, funny way. So I don't mind that too much, but it just sort of highlights how sometimes the rules on Gielinor games, because you're trying to take in so much and then you're trying to think of your plan, it's like, wait, what was allowed, what wasn't allowed? And it's like, you see it with Boaty's perspective, where he goes to pick up a gold ore and he's like, is that another player's drop? I don't think I'm allowed to take that. And then we've got Will and Victim. The whole thing was other people's drops. So it's just, it's these things sort of are like, the boundaries are there. And it's like, oh, what are we doing? And you can't remember what's been going on, because obviously it would be ridiculous if I went to the Grand Exchange and said, hey, it's me, SoloMission, I'm doing Gielinor games, money making, give me money. That's never gonna happen, because that would be fucked. Like, unless that was explicitly the challenge, like, you have to panhandle, which is never gonna happen. But yeah, it's just like, Just a bit of a weird one. I think it all turned out for the best in this one, but gotta be careful about that in the future. And Hanani and Sinferno down the bottom. Everyone was roasting them, but honestly, it's easy to roast them with hindsight. But if their moneymaker was still fine, they would have come second. So yeah, it's easy to criticize when you're on the armchairs. Like, I'll just say that. So me and EVscape find out that we've won. And he's like, it's huge, we're voting for Framed, 8-sat Jimmy settles, and he thinks he's got the votes to just nuke this whole alliance, because look, they can pit 2 teams against each other from this side, and they could just take out that North American alliance. But we know that doesn't happen, and instead, Hanani and Sinferno get sent in, because Evie kind of miscalculates that these 2 don't get votes. We got double votes that get put on these 2, and yeah, it just turns out to be a bit of a madness. And I, of course, am privy to this information because Framed messages me saying we're sending in Sinferno and Hanani. It's a defensive play because they figured that they'll get put in from me and EVscape. And I was like, Evie's telling you guys this is going to be hard. It is what it is. So Framed preparing for the worst here, sending in a team that he doesn't think is as strong. And also, it's the best thing for them to do because they have votes on them already from coming last. They don't vote for themselves, which people think that they do, but they don't vote for themselves. They have votes from coming last on themselves. So the votes are collected. This is like a 10-minute process of suspense. Evie's like, yeah, we've got heaps. Got Tormos and Matoso, you're chilling. Yeah, we're chilling. You got to let me announce it when I back my boy Ditter up. And then it gets announced that it's Sin and Hannah. And I'm like, very interesting. The fuck is going on? And here we go. Into the banning call. I've got to stick up for the Frame side here. Evie's going to stick up for his side. But I'm supposedly working with Evie. So it's going to be difficult for me. I've got to create some confusion. And if we count this team out, that's 1 team there, 1 team there, 1 team there, 1 team there. We can't vote for this team. Why would we vote for Skill Specs? Because it's just going to bring in Torvesta, which is bad for EVscape. And we're going to end up landing on this team. That was my thoughts going into the call. But it was going to be a mountain to climb getting there. Because what in Evie's mind, why am I defending these guys? Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be sus. Hello. Okay, so who got voted in? Sinferno and Hanani?
Yeah, hang on. I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck happened.
What is going on, bro? Your guys, you don't have them under control, I swear. They're fucking...
Dude, what the hell is going on?
They are doing a madness.
I don't know who the fuck to choose. Because I like it's a good chance I'm going to lose, right?
Yeah, there is. But it could be something RNG type. I don't know. Or like something stupid.
Maybe Jimmy and Settled. Because like then like that's probably the best chance from the other alliance, if that makes sense.
So who are you saying is in the other alliance? Jimmy and Settled, Framed and 8-sat?
I think it's Jimmy, Settled, Framed, 8-sat in the other alliance.
Yeah. What about Will and Victim? Do you have those guys? I decided that confusion was my main tool here, and to save Settled and Jimmy and Framed and 8-sat, I would have to try and convince Evie that these 2 were over here. Even though I didn't believe this, but, you know... Like
we don't have those guys, but they're with no one, so it's like...
I don't think they are with no one, though, because how the fuck are your guys in the bottom 2 here? How are your guys in the banning? I think they must be in that other alliance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why would people vote for them? I think it's just because they came last. I think it would be solo people going, oh, they came last, they've already got votes. That's our best chance.
No, they've got 8 votes. Who's voting for... think about it. Boaty and Foe aren't voting for them.
Yeah, Bodie and Foe should have voted with us. Because, yeah, I don't know.
Sorry, Stefan, can you move down, please?
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
Hello.
You trade me quick, Solid. Give you your crown.
Oh, sorry. Who can you just go through the voting again? Because we're confused.
Yes, so Framed and 8-sat got 6 votes. Torvesta and Bertoso got 2. Itzwell and Victim got 2. And Sinferno and Hanani got 8.
Who had the double votes?
We had Victim, Will, Bodhi, and Foe.
Okay. That makes way more sense than Joel.
Okay.
You guys going through numbers.
So
yeah, we're just trying to figure out who's gone who.
So you think that Will and Victim are on the Settled Alliance?
No, I think
no.
they're solo, and they just thought because they've got double votes, they just went the easiest way for them to go about it is to go for whoever got the votes immediately. So Sinferno and Hanani already started with 2 votes, right?
Yeah. And then
So I think
their
they
six,
just
where have
said,
their 6 votes come from after that?
so then they would get 4 from Fo, Bodhi, and then Will and Victim,
Yeah.
and then maybe just another 2
Well,
from
ASAT,
random.
ASAT and Framed as well. So that makes it. That's all their votes.
Yeah, that would make up.
But then we're saying that Will and Victim. Because why would Will and Victim vote for fucking Hanani? So they must be in cahoots. They must have a hand in that alliance.
Oh, fuck.
They must do. I'm telling you, they must do. Because Be the Victim, right? He's like an old school guy. He's like American. He's probably with those guys.
Yeah.
And Will too. Will was so easily recruitable. If he's not in your alliance, he's in theirs. Trust me.
Here's my thought process.
Right.
The team that's in now is from my alliance.
Yeah.
And then the best chance they have of winning is up against Settled and Jimmy.
Settled's so good at this.
Definitely...
Settled is so good at the game, though. I don't know. Like, you really think?
Oh, man.
Is Skill Specs in your alliance or not?
No, he's not. No.
But he would choose fucking Torvesta or something, wouldn't
he? Yeah. He would be the vote for Torvesta, surely, right? Oh, fuck. This is so hard.
I mean, I just think that Sin and Hannah are going to lose pretty much no matter what.
I also think they're going to lose, but I think the best chance they got is Settled and Jimmy.
No, I feel like if it's anything RuneScape related, they're just going to lose. So the only way they win, if it's some random fucking thing, which is why I kind of want to put in Will and Victim, just because I think they're a strong team and they're clearly on that other side of the alliance with Framed and that lot.
You think they're on the other side?
I'm so certain Victim is Victim's. He's all friends with those guys. Like, if he's not friends with you, he's friends with the other side. He must be. Fo and Boaty are blowing in the wind. Is Fo with you? I don't think he is, right?
Yeah, we've been talking to him. He's not fully in, but I've been messaging him.
That is huge information for me. Fo over here? Interesting. So then,
you reckon Will and Victim, dude? I don't know.
I honestly think that's a shout because they're not in your alliance. And they're good at the game. Like, they're actually good. And
yeah.
And to get them out
So did the teams have to vote together, or did everyone get a solo vote?
Everybody got a single vote.
Right.
Wait, but it's her, by the way. Oh. You just joined for a tick, bro.
All right, yeah, we'll wrap it up here, guys. Just so we're on a time limit.
Okay. Honestly, I think Will and Victim on the chance that it's something stupid, and then we get rid of 2 good people. Because I'm looking down the teams, and if it's something RuneScape, all these teams have someone who's good in, which is going to mean that their team automatically wins.
Yeah. All right.
Do you get that logic? Okay. Well,
you're announcing it.
Right. Okay. So Evie ends up letting me send in Will and Victim. I don't think he was too happy about it, but we had to wrap things up, and I was just adamant that these 2 had to be the ones that got sent in, and then they get sent. The challenge gets announced, and it's like, well, fuck, Sin and Hannah are definitely gone here. And Eviescape actually said this might be the banning earlier in the day to me, and I was like, yeah, it could be. And then it ended up being this. And he even wanted to put himself in the banning if it was this, but you don't find out what the banning is until you announce who you're sending in. So if we knew this was the banning, we would have sent ourselves in. And Evie almost wanted to send himself in versus Sin and Hannah just to get the immunity. Anyway, the banning starts raging on. Framed is very happy with me. Like I said, it's about building that bridge. And if you speak with your actions, people will be your friend. I've done a madness there for you guys. Settled's team and your team were on the chop, which they most certainly were. And then Frame says, Victim was with us, by the way. I didn't realize. I'm like, oh, that was good, though. Appreciate you didn't send me in. So, it's not my bad. I said I didn't know that. Skill Specs is 2. So he's just giving me all this information now. And that's the thing. If you have people's backs, they'll start working with you. And, huge info here from Framed. All right. It was most likely the best vote. He understands that Eviescape had 2 people on his side. There was 2 people on Frame's side. So we kind of settled down the middle with Will and Victim. We also get this out of Framed. I think Fo is with Evie, and I'm like, really? Fuck. Because I didn't think Fo was with anyone, remember, before this. And he's got a decent suspicion of it, which is why he needs to take out Evie. He's my number 1 target now. So with all this information, it changes a lot here. Let's go to the original alliance board. Obviously, Hannah and Sin, unfortunately, they end up losing. Sad to see them go. I actually love these two. Their confessionals were quality, but they're gone, which weakens EV's side. It was looking massive, and honestly, if we're putting Foe in here as well, it was looking very big. Sin's gone, and then Hannah's gone, and we're saying Foe is now on EV's side. We've got Frame thinks it, EVscape has said it, so I'm putting him in there. Let's move these two over a bit more. And then we've got Victim over here and Skill Specs over here. God damn, the middle ground is looking not very do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, boom, we've got big alliances on either side, and they're kind of evenly matched, which is very interesting. One thing as well this week told me is that Will is definitely not allied with either side, because I had suspicions he was here, right? Maybe with Evie, but Evie didn't defend him at all, so in the middle, I think. My guy, he's been saying he's got no allies for the longest time. I actually believe him now. So seeing Will's all alone, you already know I have to reach out to him and say, had to vote someone, it is what it is, good job winning. Guess you weren't actually allied with Evie in the end, I believe you now. And he's like, told you, man. And yeah, I just said, those guys are strong. I wish I was in it because, yeah, that is nice to get that safety from that banning. Great banning for Will to be in. And the games are looking very interesting right now. I am between two alliances. I don't think I pissed off this side, to be honest. Might have made a bit of an enemy in Will, and yeah. Interesting. Now, I also reached out to Victim after putting him in the banning, and I said, had to vote for someone. It is what it is. Good job winning. Happens, thanks. Good banning to be in. But supposedly he's on this side, and that's not great because it looks like I've just sent one of these guys in, which I have. But I've got plausible deniability there, right? So it's not the end of the world. Especially seeing as though this is what Frame sent me, saying it's got Jimmy, 8sat settled, Framed, and me in the final 5. We also get sent a little happy frog thing from 8sat, and he says he's thankful that he didn't send him and Kevin into the banning. Kevin is Framed. And I was just like, yep, mental gymnastics convincing Evie, and I thought that was pretty convincing with those gymnastics, not going to lie. So this is how the games is looking. We've got massive alliance over here, although somewhat fractured potentially. Then we've got Boaty, apolitical, Will, genuinely unallied, and me, with Framed and Evie as big partners in the Gielinor games. Got a lot more information this week, so this was really helpful for figuring out what was going on. But I've got a special guest to talk about Gielinor games with, so hope you enjoy me talking to EVscape. He's going to be giving us the inside scoop from this side. We're going to run it back a little bit to how I thought things were going on at week 4 and just chat about Evie's time in the game so far. Hello.
Big SoloMission, how the bloody hell are we?
Run me through what group chats you've got going on from the start. So how does your side of the alliance form? Because I've got you pinned down as having like a massive group of people, but I think you allude to in this episode that it's not necessarily one huge group, it's multiple smaller groups. And I think like with people with like Tasty and like Vitoso, are they in the same group chat, or do you have like different things going on? Just
so we had a group chat from the start. Torvesta organized it. It was me, him, Vitoso, Tanzu, did a bit of. So there was a few of us from the start, and then we got Hanani in to that group chat. Yeah. And then I was speaking to Zoe as well in a separate chat. And she had Sin and Tasty with her. And she was telling me that she would get them to vote for whoever we were going for. So I had my group chat going where Torvesta was, calling the shots, so to say.
Yeah, lads on Torvesta is that one.
yeah, exactly. Like, Torvesta was calling the shots, but let's be honest, I was pushing him in certain directions. And then, I was talking to Zoe on the side, and she was pulling directions with Tasty and Sin as well. So I only had 2 group chats going, but we had some good numbers.
So poor little Will was never in any of those group chats.
No, I'm watching the first couple episodes and you're just accusing the fuck out of the poor guy. I've never spoken to him.
It was just funny, bro, because he got so defensive. He was like, me? I've don't even know these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
No, that was good. It was good.
Okay, so it develops on a bit. I think for anyone that has played the game, it's obviously NA people are all on one side just because they're all that good friends. It's kind of obvious that Bertie's not going to be speaking to anybody, and then we've got a few people in the middle just floating around. And episode 4, do you recruit foe? How does that go down?
Yeah, so the episode previously, we, I think I was in the banning last episode, yeah? Was that the episode before when I was against Bitter?
No, that was episode 2. So that
episode
2 against Bitter.
During that episode, he was actually giving me some tips on the banning. He's like, "Oh, you should buy this." Like, we had to do the second round. He's like, "Go here, go here." And I was like, you know what? Foe's actually got my back here. So I recruited him after episode 2. So he was with us for episode 3 as well. But we didn't put him in the group chat just yet. I said to Torvester, I'm like, "Oh, we might have foe. Like, should we bring him in the group chat?" And Torvester's like, "No, don't bring him in just yet." And, I was giving it
paranoid.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, but we eventually got him in the group chat after
week 3, because he goes into the banning in week 3 where there's 9 people in a call. But actually, looking back, there's not actually anyone in the lads on Torvesta in that call. So that makes sense why he went in, even though he was like kind of allies with you guys at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we got him. I think we tried to save him in week 3, and then didn't work out so well. But yeah, we got him in after that.
Yeah, interesting. What about skill specs? Up until week 4, was he just sort of like not saying he was allying him with anyone?
I don't think I had messaged him. I don't think I'd messaged him at all up until week 4. Yeah.
Fair. Also, Tanzu was a big blow because he was obviously somebody who was just in lads on Torvesta, right? And then he
exactly.
And then Victim comes in. Does Victim just slip straight into your alliance, or does he? Because you guys don't really know him as well as Tanzu, obviously.
Yeah, so I didn't know him at all, and I didn't message him at all. I was like, I don't know him.
So,
I don't know him as well as Dave. Like, I don't want to slide in.
Yeah, it's like you just lost the core member for like nothing.
Yeah,
it's just how it goes. It's like losing a week.
It sucked because he didn't even get eliminated. We just lost him.
Yeah, that was frustrating. Right, so this soup board, I don't know if you've got it up right now. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is this accurate then, would you say? For episode 4?
Yeah, it's accurate enough, but I think it's like, so it's got me and Alliance 2. There should be an Alliance 3 that I'm connected to as well, because Zoe, Tasty, and Sin aren't connected to Alliance 2 at all. Like, they're Alliance 2 goes through me, and then does Zoe, Tasty, and Sin. So they're all coming back to me, but they don't know about each other.
They don't know what at all. So you're not saying I'm getting some votes from elsewhere or anything.
So they know I'm getting votes from elsewhere, but they don't know from who.
They don't know who. Oh, so do they know about me at all at this point?
No one knows about you.
Right, okay.
No one knows about
That's
you.
interesting.
Because I'm sat there, I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to pair up with you, but like telling anyone that I'm with you is suicide.
That's true.
Like,
that's true. Because then they'll just expect that I'm getting you to leak and all this sort of stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, like I've been winning all the challenges. Like, so I came second in the first week, but then I've won all 3 weeks, so I've been safe for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's actually panned out really well for me. Obviously, the left side of this image is completely fine, and then no Alliance, Victim, Bertie will. But I think I would say this is pretty accurate. I wouldn't say I'm a huncher. I wouldn't say I'm a huncher. I'm more of a chaos agent because I'm not in any group chats at all. I was just individual DM people.
I mean, look, let's be honest. Like we were both trying to play both sides, and it was easier to work together.
Yeah, I feel like what people miss sometimes is just in the calls, like around the episode, so just before it starts, after it finishes, while you're waiting to vote, everyone's kind of probing each other, and like, I don't know, it's just so obvious that you were a leader. I don't know, like, to me anyway. I like framed as well as like.
The thing was, you say it's so obvious that I was a leader, but like I wasn't a leader to anyone. Like I knew I was pulling the strings, but as far as anyone else is concerned, like Torvest is the leader of Alliance 2, like Zoe's running Alliance 3, like I'm just in the middle, you know what what I
Yeah.
mean? So like you're the only person that sort of knew.
Yeah,
I
I didn't even realize Torvesta was a leader. But I guess I wouldn't
Yep.
reach out to Torvesta because he just fucking slammed that door in my face. There's no way. There's
Yeah,
no
that
way
was
he would
not
have done
happening.
deals with me. Right, okay, so that brings me on to: were you suspicious of working with me were you suspicious of working with me? Did you think I had other interests, especially going into this banning call where it does all of a sudden during the episode we're like, oh yeah, we'll get framed and settled in, like those sort of
Yep.
teams, and then all of a sudden I'm coming in with this weird suggestion of Will and Victim. Did
so,
that make you
like,
suspicious?
Honestly, like I knew you were always going to be up to something. Like I knew there was always something going on, but at the same time, I was like, the reason I started working with you is because I was like, well, he's the fucking genius. Like I can just definitely just slide along with him. Like I said, I think it was episode 1 or episode 2. I was like, you know, I've got a friendly face and you're my friend. I was like, you just tell me what to do and I'll fucking do it. Like, I trust you. I trust you. But like, I knew something was going on and I always had in the back of my head, like, is he going to backstab me here? Like, am I getting absolutely snaked? But I trusted you. I trusted you. But
because there you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had no idea that you were like working so like deeply with the other side. I didn't realize you were in that deep with them.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily that deep because I wasn't in their group chat or anything. I was just talking to Framed, and it was just a case of, I've got your guys' interests like here, so why would you get rid of me? I was just trying to create that sort of like, yeah. And then if I could get both sides, then I'll never go into the banning. Hopefully, that's the plan. But I feel like with this banning, you were just a bit surprised that it was Sin and Hannah going in. So it was like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
yeah, that's
that
what
was a
got
bit
me,
of a
'cause,
like. It was crazy because you've got all these people on this side of the game, and it's like, what? But actually, it's because the double votes is because they can't vote.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, it was
it does
the
make
double
sense
votes
in the
that
end.
got us.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I proper pounced on that, saying that people have snaked you. And like,
I remember that, but like it was confusing to me because like you forget about the double votes and like the fact that the losers can't vote, and like I was sat there with like 8 people on my side compared to what I thought was 4 on the other side. You know what I mean? I'm just like, we've easily got this. We're about to just steamroll the competition, and then like I started working with you, so like I knew when we started steamrolling on our side, like we'd be able to figure something out after that, and then all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on?
No, it is pretty rough, like keeping track of everything. I definitely capitalized on that. I was just accusing these two of being in the alliance while I just had no proof at all. Yeah. Got what I wanted. I feel like you were just like, oh, go on then. I'll just let him do whatever. Because we were in that call for like 15 minutes and everyone was getting tired of it taking so long. So, yeah, that was not naughty of me to just knock that down. But it is what it is. All right, well, thank you very much, Jake. I appreciate your input. It's been very interesting. Hope you survive so we can get you back on this, but we'll see.
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed. Yeah, no, it's fun. I love taking a look in like at the back end and like seeing what you were up to the whole time, because you know I've had a few sleepless nights counting votes from the first few episodes, and just seeing where they're all coming from is always nice. So.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I'll be there just in the shower, just thinking about what people said. That was in week 2 when I was with Tasty, Hannah, and Will in that call. I must have listened to that call back about 10 times. I was like, yeah, these guys are dropping tells left and right. Like I know what these motherfuckers are.
I just remember, like, after I watched like your first episode of this, I was like, I thought I was taking this season seriously, and then like you've got recordings of everything. I was like, damn, this guy really goes for it.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Anyway, thank you very much, mate. I'll see you soon.
Good stuff, mate.
And,
All right.
Yeah, peace. I hope you guys enjoyed Evie's insight, and this week it's been a long one, but I'm safe. Getting through the weeks, that's what it's all about. As ever, drop a sub over here. We're nearly at 10k subs. That'd be quite nice to hit on a second channel. Anyway, I'll let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a nice Christmas, because I'm not sure when the next episode is going to be out.